What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Show, back to another video, and today we're talking about Demon Slayer. Alright. So my thing is, a lot of people have been saying like Demon Slayer gets carried by animation and it's not good, it's generic trash. I'm here to tell you guys, I feel like a little bit differently on it. I do agree with both points though. I am like a little fence sitter on this because the animation definitely does take it up to another notch. And without the animation, it wouldn't be going viral like it was. So, with that being said though, it's not necessarily a crutch, more as like a complementary tool. I didn't really know how to say it, so I just kept saying it again and again and again. So, Demon Slayer, yes, Demon Slayer. I think Demon Slayer gained like a lot of popularity due to like a lot of different factors. Now, obviously, animation quality is one. Like, Ufotable is probably like the GOATs. I'm not gonna say probably, they are the GOATs to me, because maybe they don't do specific consistent animation, like maybe like Mappa or someone who does really good animation. They do it on a consistent basis, because a lot of shows are really done by them. Like the two notable ones I think for Ufotable is Fate and Demon Slayer, and those actual animation quality, like the quality of the animation and the way it looks and stuff, is probably some of the best I've ever seen. But could you really call it consistent, considering that they only do a couple of handfuls of series? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mappa is done, it feels like thousands of series at this point. I mean, its visual effects have been praised, so it's definitely a main factor in why Demon Slayer is popular, but it's not the only one. The Demon Slayer story is, in a word, generic, but not really. Like, it's obviously, every anime to me is generic, because they're all copies of like stuff like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece. That's what the big three are for, like the big four really, including Bleach. You have a lot of different anime, some that came before, like you have the Death Game anime archetype, where it's like obviously a death game. The Battle Royale archetype, where it's a Battle Royale. Sports anime have a certain archetype, like they're there to build hype for you and to make you feel hype. And that's a way that they basically can control that. It's really based on archetype. So yes, Demon Slayer is your basic cookie cutter like Rurouni Kenshin or any anime that really hunts demons. But I think this one kind of builds itself out really good, with the whole his family getting murdered and it's a revenge story. I think Tanjiro is an unappreciated main protagonist, and people do not realize that. I'm being honest here, like I really am a big fan of Tanjiro. I think he's a really cool character. At first, he just felt like a character that was kind of bland and unimportant, but as you watch the show, he's one of the characters. He's the anime main character that I always felt like should always be the main character, to be honest with you, because he's really kind of perfect, and that kind of defeats the purpose, because, I mean, a lot of flawed main characters are really, really good, and they make for really, really interesting stories. But him in himself, I think he's like the perfect rendition of what an actual shonen protagonist should be. A shonen protagonist should be kind. He shouldn't be ruthless, because then he would be like his enemies. You know what I'm saying? He should be kind, but at the end of the day, he should finish the job and get the job done. Obviously, Dragon Ball Z, Goku never kills his enemies. He only fights, beats them up, and makes them join his team years later or whatever, raise his son. Naruto, talk no jutsu is prevalent there. Like, obviously, they're going to talk a certain character down and make that character not act out, and that character's going to change size and try to be good and whatever. And, obviously, they don't really catch a lot of bodies in that show. You got Bleach and Ichigo, who will basically fight for his friends. And if it's not his friends, he don't really care. I'm just joking. But seriously, in all seriousness, though, that's his whole thing, his whole motto. And the same with Luffy. Luffy sticks up with his friends. You know what I'm saying? He fights against the grain. He's not really scared of like consequences and stuff. And that's what makes him a really interesting character. He doesn't really have a fear of consequences. He does what he wants to do, like punch a celestial dragon in the face. He does something like that and really doesn't even care, because he's a pirate. He's not made to care. His character is written perfectly. It's not really much there. But this is the same thing I want to explain about Tanjiro. Tanjiro, I've seen it a lot in this latest season. Tanjiro is a cool character because he definitely has sympathy for the demons, but it doesn't matter. He has a job to do. He's going to do his job. He's not going to feel bad for a demon. His sister got turned into a demon, and you got to realize when something like that happens, you could actually start getting sympathy for those creatures, you know what I'm saying? Because your sister's one. You just realize that Muzan could have affected anybody with that demonic virus. So why them? It makes sense. He has sympathy for his villains. When he kills You know what I'm saying? You get the little sad backstory. He might cry for him or whatever, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The job is done. He knows that the demons are a blight on the world and they have to be stopped. This is one thing I love about Tanjiro, and it's simply because I feel like a lot of more main characters should be written this way. He's the perfect template to write a character a certain way. So I feel like great characters, I'm gonna say great characters, and by great characters I mean Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Tanjiro. I know a lot of people wouldn't really include Zenitsu because of his certain ailment where he can only be cool at night. Now mind you, I read the whole manga through. This is also a point I need to bring up because it's relevant. I read the whole manga, and the manga has no animation. The actual manga pages for like the manga itself aren't really that spectacular. So you can't really say animation carried me all the way to the manga for sure. There's a lot of big issues with the manga, but I mean, other than that, I think it was a really good read. I think the story is really where it sells at though. You got a cool villain. Cool as in like he's very mysterious, he's very powerful obviously, and when he met Tanjiro for the first time, he really just scratched somebody just so they'll turn into a demon, just so Tanjiro could deal with that. Season 2 was a great part in that, you know, like the whole Rengoku dying. And I really love when authors and manga artists and stuff really aren't afraid to kill their characters. I've always said this for years now. Killing a character is very essential. Rengoku was definitely a fast friend, but, you know, so he got murdered really fast. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. That makes sense. That tracks for sure. What really confuses me is that the way that the seasons go, obviously it felt like season 2, the later half of season 2, the fight with Gitaro and Uzui and stuff, that fight and stuff had a lot of very serious implications. And this later season for me really wasn't doing it. Mainly because the fish guy in the vase was so annoying and I wanted him to die. And then he's like, it's 2 upper moons and they should have been a lot more stronger than what they were. Even the one that Tanjiro defeated, you know what I'm saying? Like he was kind of actually ridiculously strong, but you never really could see his full power. I think the story draws you in. They give you these lower demons, they give you these upper 6 and stuff, and you really are just excited to see which next demon is going to pop up. You're excited to see what their powers are and how they're going to fight and how strong they are. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than just a simple battle. But with that being said, guys, do you think the animation covers Demon Slayer? I think it definitely does help a lot. It's about a good 40% of the job. I think the story is like another 20%. The characters are another 40%. They got some pretty cool characters and cool like senseis and stuff in there that's really cool to look at. Well, with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video.